Hey, what's going on, everybody? Back here with another video. Wanted to talk and wrap up just the trade deadline. Talk about everything that happened, talk about these prices, and kind of just go over the marketplace after the deadline, see what we're looking at. It's looking like the marketplace is up, which is really good to see. But let's take a closer look here in this video and also just kind of go over this trade deadline guide and wrap this up. You can see I filled out the Top Shot value after players traded, so we can take a look at some of that more in depth. Pretty interesting trend, and you could definitely capitalize if you had some of these moments where these guys got traded. Every single price went up on these guys' Top Shot moments after they were traded, which I did not expect. Even guys traded to an even worse team or put in a worse situation, they still went up. So we're going to take a look at that and then just cover the marketplace here. So first thing, let's just go over the marketplace and filter by lowest ask. Check out these 35Ks. So not a lot has changed here. A couple nines, and for the most part, everything else 10. So about what we were seeing for the 35Ks. And in my last video, I said during the trade deadline, it didn't seem like the 35Ks were affected that much by trades versus the other moments. So let's go ahead and take a look at just serial 15K and below. See what's happening here. So these seem pretty down. I mean, $11. I don't know why you wouldn't get a 15K versus a 35K for like the same price. I've talked about that in a couple other videos, which is weird to me that these are priced about the same as 35Ks. Seems like they should be going up. This Cousins is $12. That's crazy. He really only has one real moment. He has a throwback moment and this one, and I don't even know if he's going to get on a team. I guess they're going to have to wait until Drummond and Aldridge actually find teams. It's looking like the Heat and the Lakers are going to swoop them with Drummond going to the Lakers. So maybe a team like the Brooklyn Nets will take a chance on Cousins. I'm not really sure where he might fit in on a team this year. So that'll be something to look for. I actually have this moment, so I'll be keeping a close eye on the price, and I'll keep you guys updated. So now let's look at the real movers from these rookie badges and first moment badges, which is what I've been preaching on this channel, is going after those two kinds of moments. And you can get them for like pretty good prices. So I don't have an ungodly amount of money to put in Top Shot. So I like going out after these, and they have paid off, especially now with the announcement of these badges. So you can see the lowest price for 12K is 17. And we got this Bacon all the way up at 18. Plumlee is definitely up at 19. So I think for the most part, these are pretty consistently up. Barton is definitely way up at 22. I think I saw him yesterday for like 12 on this 12K. And same with Avery Bradley. I shouted him out when he first came on the platform. He was super cheap. I think he was like 12. I should have just bought him. And I was waiting for him to dip like with the other ones, and I just didn't pull the trigger. But I think yesterday he was 21, so his price has definitely been increased from the announcement of the first moment badge, as well as Diallo. I think I saw him 2 days ago for 16, and yesterday was like 20, so his is way up. And Jackson Hayes definitely up as well, so, and Roby and Beasley. Beasley's a card I've been keeping an eye on. I was waiting for him to dip under 20. Never really happened. I saw him get as low as 23. Another missed opportunity there where I should have pulled the trigger. But yeah, these are all up. So that's good to see. Alexander Walker up to 45. I think this moment would have exploded if Lonzo Ball got traded. I put too many eggs in that basket of Ball getting traded. I mean, still his price didn't really go down, but it would have maybe gone to 60 if they basically would have gave him the rights to the starting point guard in New Orleans. So let's check out a couple more things. Let's just check out the series ones here. This is really low for Tyus Jones. I don't know why he's so much lower than the next lowest price. Let's just check out if this is just an abnormal listing here at 65. Yeah, so someone just threw up a 1000 serial at 65. Someone's going to definitely capitalize on that in probably the next couple minutes. Let's just open it up and see if it's gone. Oh, it's still there. I'm not going to mess with this right now. Maybe if I wasn't recording, I would do a quick flip. But you got to calculate, if you throw them up for 72, you're going to have like $4 of fees. It's only like $3 in profit, but it would be pretty easy to do. These are all up. We had a bunch in the 60s yesterday. I mean, for the most part, they all look up. I know Torrey Craig, when he first got traded, was close to 100, and now he's down to 78. I think he even had a pretty solid game with the Suns already. So that's kind of weird to see. But these Series 1s seem like they're getting back up there in value, so hopefully that just continues. And lastly, let's just check out the last pack drop. So let's just check out the Cool Cats. I think I saw them going up. A lot of people are actually doing this challenge, which I guess I should have maybe tried to do the challenge. I calculated it kind of incorrectly on one of my videos. I apologize for that. Okay, so checking out these Cool Cats. So they're up 95, 99. Let's see, 105, 122, 127. So all of them are up from yesterday. Guess a lot of people are doing this challenge. So hopefully you waited at least a bit to not sell your Cool Cats. Might be kind of a good hold just for a while on these if you did get one in a pack. So coming over here to the NBA trade deadline guide I've been talking about and put out. So I'm going to put it out one more time in the afternoon on Friday. So keep an eye out for that. If you do sign up, the link will be down in the description for this. And basically all it's going to be is you can check out these Top Shot values and how they change. So for example, Aaron Gordon was traded to the Nuggets. So I saw his value was 243, and then it went to 342 probably in the next 3 or 4 hours. That seems like when they were all peaking, that was kind of the trend I was seeing. So pretty much all these, the trend was they peaked 3 or 4 hours after the trade and then went right back down. I'll show you a couple examples. I think it's still true, but I haven't checked in a few hours. But let's see here. Okay, so Aaron Gordon, if we just look at his 1 day, you can see 243, and then once he was traded in the morning, skyrocketed up to 342 was his peak at 10 a.m. and then fell right back down. That seemed like the trend with all of them. I caught that trend on some of the previous players like DeLon Wright and who was else to get traded? It was like PJ Tucker and Torrey Craig. So hopefully you remembered that little tip that these moments are going to skyrocket and then crash back down to basically what they were, I guess even less in Aaron Gordon's case. So let's just check out one more or a couple more, I guess. So check out Evan Fournier. It seemed like he was one of the biggest movers from trade. He went from 88 to 128, which is a pretty big jump. So let's check him out on Add More Funds. Also, if you want to use Add More Funds, there's a link down in the description for that. So Fournier here, yeah, like 88. And then we got to when he was traded. Right before he was traded, I guess he was 92. And then we had a 157 peak here, actually. I can't remember what I came down to. I said 128. I tried to be a little forgiving with these and not just, I don't know how many sales were at 157 in this hour, but I went with the 128. Still a huge jump. And then his went down. It's actually held a little more than Aaron Gordon's did. He's holding at 104 when he came in at like 90 going into the trade. So Fournier's held a little better, but again, that trend of just skyrocketing and then coming back down seemed to be in effect. So So when I was looking through all these numbers, I think Fournier was probably the biggest mover, 88 to 128. He even saw it went for 157, but I tried to be a little conservative with these. And another big one was Lou Williams, went from 108 to 150. 108 was pretty low to begin with for a Series 1 Lou Williams, in my opinion. So maybe that's why his skyrocketed a little more, but let's just check his out real quick. Yeah, so going into the trade, it was just 108, 107, went way up to 152, 150, and held that for 2 hours, 150 highs, and then went down, and he actually jumped back up here to 135. Now he's been 135 for 2 hours. So that's kind of interesting, but still same trend of skyrocketing way back up and going down. So I really hope you guys remembered that from a previous video of these are going to do that, and then you should probably sell. And then if you want to buy back in, you could just buy back in around here and get $40 profit. So that kind of wraps up the trade deadline. It was super exciting. I had a fun day keeping up with all the news and all the trades and all that, and also trying to make some moves on Top Shot. The last thing I want to talk about actually with the trade deadline is if you had players that were like heavily rumored to be traded and everyone thought they were going to be traded, their value actually dipped way down. So I made this mistake. I mean, not really a mistake. It was more of a gamble. I thought Lonzo Ball was basically a lock to be traded. They came out and said that he's not a part of their long-term plan and he's a free agent coming up. I guess, I don't know exactly the Pelicans' plan, what they're going to do with Lonzo Ball, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be there next year. So I thought he was for sure getting shipped out, and I actually bought Alonzo at $40. And now we can check Lonzo's price. I think it's like below 30. It's at 28. So it absolutely tanked. We can see on Add More Funds that it tanked right as the clock hit the end of the trade deadline. So it even got up to 43, 44. I guess people were just anticipating his trade throughout the day because he started at 33. So people like me trying to anticipate a trade, and it didn't work out. And you can see in the next hour, it went down to 25, 29. So that was hard to see. I bet if he actually got traded, it looked like he was either going to go to the Clippers or the Bulls. If he went to either of those places, guarantee you it would have went up to 60, maybe 70, and I would have flipped it and then bought back in because I actually do like Lonzo Ball as a long-term hold card. So it's not the worst because I think getting in at 40, if we look at a month for this moment, this card has been around 38, 40, 42. And I mean, when it first opened, it was in the 50s and held in the 40s for a while. So getting it at 40 is not the worst thing, which was kind of my mindset going into it. Was like, if he doesn't get traded, it's still a good investment. But I was not really expecting that tank as soon as the trade deadline ended. So hopefully you guys took advantage of some of this trade deadline stuff and made some good moves, some good pickups, and made a little money in the process. And if you did, and if you've just been liking the videos, definitely subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to put out a video almost every single day. So like and comment, and I'll see you guys in another one.
Another day, another beer.